Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Laurie Mega. I am the founder of Mega Consulting Editorial Services. I'm a writer, editor, SEO specialist, and general editorial consultant for anything you may need. I am also a professor at Fisher College, where I teach media writing and social media writing. So I thought I would take my act on the road and create some videos to help anybody and everybody who wants to learn how to write, particularly for the media. So what I'm starting with is my Journalism 101 series. And first we will start with hard news. This is as opposed to feature writing. Check out that series as well on my YouTube channel. And of course there will be tons and tons and tons of series and writing and videos, lots of great nuggets up. So subscribe to my channel and keep getting all those great little treasures of how to write wonderful pieces for the media. But again, we will start with Journalism 101, hard news. This is the very beginning, the building blocks, the foundation of good writing. Hard news refers to pieces that give you just the facts. So when you see an article on fires or local town hall or weather events, any kind of event really, even celebrity gossip actually could be written as a hard news piece. Anything like that is going to be your basic hard news piece. It gets you the facts and gets you on with your day. And there's no flowery language, no wild descriptions, nothing to get in the way of the facts and get in the way of the information that you need. This is a framework. I will show you the framework, and this is a great framework for basically any kind of writing. This is really where you want to start. So let's jump into it. So the first thing we want to talk about is the 6 questions that every piece of writing that you create has to answer. And that's who, what, when, where, why, and how. You probably heard about these questions when you were learning basic writing skills in school. And true words have never been spoken. You have to answer these questions in anything you write. Hard news, features writing, blog writing, anything. Because these are the questions that fulfill your promise to your reader. And what I mean by that is if you have a piece and you've written this great, amazing title that everybody wants to click on, it's super catchy, you have to deliver on the promise behind that title. So let's take a basic example, not anything super catchy or fancy, but let's just say you're writing about the latest town hall meeting in your town. And your title is something like town officials decide to fix the roads instead of the library. And now everybody's clicking on that saying, well, wait a minute, I care about the library. Oh, yes, I care about the roads. I want to hear more about this. When they click on that title, you had better give them answers to all of these questions because these are the questions they're coming into your article with. Who decided that? What exactly was decided? How did they decide? Did they vote? Did they just decide without voting? Where was the town hall meeting? When was it? And why was this decided in the first place? These are all questions that your readers are going to have. And if you leave a few of those out, you're going to leave them without the information that they need. And they're going to move on. And they're not going to trust you as a writer. The greatest thing you can do as a writer is to gain the trust of your audience. Once you do that, they will follow you. They will believe what you say, which is very much what you need your audience to do. And they will share your posts as well if it's good information that is helpful. So these are the 6 questions that you have to answer to keep your promise to your audience and to build that trusting relationship. So once you have that information, once you've gathered all of that, and don't worry, I will have a video series on research, interviewing, collecting facts, because of course that's a big part of being a journalist or writing a media post. Once you have those questions answered, you need to organize that information, right? So this is what's called the inverted pyramid. This is how you organize information in a hard news piece. And again, you can use it for other pieces too. If you're writing a blog and you want to use this, that's great. You can use this. If you're writing even a listicle, you know, those articles that you see that are like 6 ways to fix a window, or 5 ways to hack your makeup routine, or 12 ways to keep your baby asleep at night. You could use this too, essentially. This is a great way to just organize your thoughts and your information and write a very clear, concise article. Now, this inverted pyramid style actually has an interesting history. It came from the fact that in newspapers, back in the day when we had newspapers, the advertising was placed first on the page, and then the content was placed. So if the content did not fit around the advertising, the editors would just start at the bottom and start chopping up the article until it fit. That meant that you couldn't put your most important information at the bottom of the article, because if it didn't fit, it would get cut off. So this sort of became the way to organize information. That's one of the reasons that it was created. The other reason being, if you are writing this kind of piece, you want all of your important information at the top to get those questions answered for your audience and let them move on. This is not necessarily the kind of piece that you're trying to get people to keep scrolling and scrolling and reading and reading. If you do, that's bonus points. But this is the kind of article that you're just trying to get the information out. It is also handy that now nobody scrolls very much down an article, right? So having your information at the top, again, is very good. So the biggest, fattest part of your article is at the top. Obviously, this is your lead. This is where all your most important information is. Your first sentence is called your hook, and I will have a video specifically on writing hooks to, as the name says, really hook your audience and get them keep reading. So look for that on my YouTube channel. The lead will answer those 6 questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's also called the nut graph. It's that first paragraph that just puts everything in a nutshell. And it's really no more than 50, 60-ish words, maybe a little more, as long as you can get all that information in there. The body is the next part. That is also important information that's crucial to supporting the lead. It's all of your details. It's the things that you need to round out your story and make it more informative and more interesting for your audience. Then the bottom is the tail. It's the extra stuff. It's the stuff, it's the nice to haves. It's the just the color, the fluff, not necessarily the fluff, but the stuff that if you did have to chop off this article, it's great to be there, but it's not absolutely necessary. So your lead, your most important information, your body, the information that supports your lead, you have your quotes in there, you have more details, and then the tail is sort of the extra nice to have stuff. So let's see then if you can take these facts, and put them in order of using the inverted pyramid structure. Let's say you had these facts for a story and you needed to write a quick story to put into your patch or whatever online website you had. I'll read through them with you. Cedar Street will be closed until the fire inspector can declare the scene safe. That's your first fact. Obviously not the one that's going to go in your lead. I'll give you that little hint. Your second fact. The fire happened at 29 Cedar Street at 1 a.m. A 5-alarm fire forced 20 people to evacuate their homes last night. The firefighters also rescued several pets, including an iguana. Chief Brady said it took about 6 hours to put the fire out. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Okay, you got that? You want to pause? See if you can put those facts in order using the inverted pyramid. Oh, wait. Go ahead. Pause me. Okay, did you do it? Do you think you got them in the right order? Let's check. Now, obviously, this is not a very eloquent way to write this story. This is just a jumble of facts. We will get more into making these hooky and more interesting in the next video. But right now, we're just putting the facts together. So this is how I ordered those facts using the inverted pyramid. A 5-alarm fire forced 20 people to evacuate their homes last night. The fire broke out on Cedar Street at 1 a.m. Chief Brady said, "It took us about 6 hours to put the fire out. Thankfully, no one was hurt." Cedar Street will be closed until the fire inspector can declare the scene safe. The firefighters also rescued several pets, including an iguana. So how'd you do? Did you get it? Did you get it right? I mean, of course, there are different ways that you can interpret this and throw things in. Maybe you would put that the fire broke out on Cedar Street closer to the other facts. A 5-alarm fire on Cedar Street forced 20 people to evacuate. Maybe you'd do that. There's different ways to do it. There's a little wiggle room there. But as long as you got the most important information close to the top as possible, you did great. So that's your basic hard news writing, and putting your facts in that sort of order. In the next videos, we'll be talking about hooks and lead paragraphs in general. We'll talk about titles. We will talk about interview techniques, fact gathering in general, particularly on the web. We will talk about writing the body, and we'll talk about writing even the tail. And at the end, we'll put it all together into an amazing hard news piece. So thanks for joining, and I hope to see you in my next video.